Hello. Hi. Can you guys see me and hear me okay? My screen is dirty. I look like I have stuff on my face. Well, my screen protector. All right, guys. Let me know if you can hear me okay. And see me okay. I hate that you can see me so close. I feel like you're right up on me. That's probably not such a good thing. Sound is good. Awesome. Let me see where I can pull this back up at. I had pulled up, I believe it was from the Denver Post, and they did a really, really good write up on the second day of the preliminary hearing. And I don't know. There are some times when I have to be honest, guys. And I said it, I think, during a live that I did with Zav Girl the day that Barry was arrested. I said, I hope to God, because they had mentioned they knew that he was getting ready to move, possibly that weekend because of his daughter graduating college. And her being a new DA, and I hope she's the Spitfire she seems like. I truly do, because there couldn't be anything better for as far as a DA to go against Barry of all people. But I was just hoping that she isn't, I don't know, I don't want to say trying to make a name for herself, but trying to satisfy everyone. And I hope she has all that she's confident that she has. And it seems she has quite a bit. A lot of it seems it can be argued, though, which scares me. So I'm hoping these last, what they say will be 2 days, but they haven't even gotten through near the witnesses they thought they would. So hopefully we'll see a turn of events, more so towards the side of the prosecution. Not that they did a bad job or anything, but they were quite quiet on a lot of things. All right, let me go and read some of this. See if anybody's commented yet. I think she knows just exactly how to fry Barf's bacon. Yeah, Burry, that's what I call it. Yeah, I agree. And there couldn't be you could have searched the world over and found a better woman to be the prosecution against him, knowing his ego, his domineering alpha character he has going on. That I love it that she's the way she is. That alone is gonna get his blood pressure going and piss him off in the very beginning. Very beginning. Everything looks and sounds fine. Good deal. Hi, everybody. All right. That Rainbow Ramblings channel says Suzanne is fine living in Mexico and faking everything. Yeah, that's kind of like the Ecuador. Was it Ecuador that her and Jeff Libler were supposed to have gone to? Come on. If, give them the benefit of the doubt, if that is the case, knowing that the nation and beyond, the world, knows about this and is out looking for her, from what we've all been told, seen, heard from her, does she seem like the type of human being to let people, especially her daughters, who she loved tremendously, obviously, would she let them worry and have sleepless nights like that if that's really what it was? I mean, that is such a wow, that's a poor excuse at the very least. DA hasn't shared anything yet. Very true. Very true. But they say that there was no blood found. The tranquilizer, I think is going to be one of the things that cooks his goose. And God forbid they do find her and she has tranquilizers in her system. Yeah, they'll find one of the redwoods out in California, the highest tree to hang him from if they find that. But I think that that's going to play a huge role, having a tranquilizer cap in your pocket that must have fallen out into your was it the washer or dryer? And then they found, was it a or a tranquilizer dart gun? And also, and Lane, please smash the spirit box. That's not true. But yeah, I mean, just as far as some of this goes, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't know. Uh oh, guys, I can't find where you guys are at now. I lost the chat. Oh crap! What's that mean? How do I get back to the? Oh, how do I get back to the chat? Am I gonna have to get on my phone to do it? But I wanted to talk about some of those things because the I wanted to actually go over that article that was in the I think it was the Denver Post, saying how his pings were going just, kind of sporadically outside when he was shooting the 85 chipmunks. Have you ever heard such a crazy tale come from an adult and not a 4-year-old child? I mean, I live in a very rural area, and let me just tell you how difficult it would be to find 85 of anything like that, especially in one night, unless he was breeding them and had them in a cage and was shooting them in a cage. I just can't. I can't foresee that happening. Crap, I can't even see the chat on my phone. Oh no, this isn't good. I can't see what you guys are saying now. I want to talk to you. Let me try something else here and see if it'll work. Videos and go under it. You guys, I am so computer illiterate. It's just absolutely disgusting. I'm back in chat. I can do it here now. Okay. You think anyone found 85 brass 22 shells? Laugh out loud. No, and that's the thing. I can't remember where it was said, or I know I had to have read it somewhere that they didn't find any casings. There weren't any. So he must have picked them all up in the dark. He must have pretty damn good vision, is all I can say. And 85. What are you going to do with 85 chipmunks unless he was skinning them? And also, why was Suzanne's phone pinging at 4:30 in the morning, a ways away from her home, but yet she was sound asleep come, what was it, 5:30? He pulled out of the driveway. So what was she out hunting elk? And then she decided, oh, I'm just going to go to bed now, and went fast asleep as soon as she hit the pillow, that he didn't want to wake her up. I mean, his stories are just so outlandish that they're laughable. So I'm hoping that we don't get another 12 Casey Anthony jurors on on the jury, so that we can actually get something done here, hopefully. I'll jump on when, oh, that was me earlier. Okay, now I have to get down to where we're at here. Okay, no. See movie The Resident, where female Hilary Swank was tranquilized by the landlord, then Swank takes energy pills to counter it to escape. Interesting. And you know what else I think would be very interesting for all of us to go and look at? And if you guys don't want to, I'll do it and come back and report for you. Is I want to find this podcast that he was listening to. I believe it was out of the state of Connecticut, about a woman who had gone missing bike riding. And didn't they find her bike too? So I find that very interesting. Um, I've said it in many videos, a lot of these men take a play out of each other's playbook, or almost as if they have a one single playbook that they go by. And it makes me wonder, are they left with so few options? How do they all end up choosing the same stupid mistakes? Let's see, where are we? The rainbow was it. He throws away perfectly good tranquilizer darts, yet saves worn out shoelaces. Of course, that makes sense, right? Everything he says is not made sense. It's crazy. I mean, it's just so wild to me. And also, what else was it? There was something that I was going to say as far as the tranquilizers, because uh, a 22 rifle, what he claims he was shooting those chipmunks with, will shoot those tranquilizers. If I'm not mistaken, it's like one of the only actual guns that shoots bullets that will actually shoot this tranquilizer. And when people lie, they try to stay as close to the truth as they possibly can. It makes them feel better. It helps them to lie and many other things. So if he's staying close to the truth or trying to stay close to the truth with it, the 22 rifle would make a whole lot of sense. A whole lot of sense. Unless he did use that dart gun, but I just can't imagine him. I don't know. He's made some crazy mistakes. So it kind of like throwing the bike out. And his phone pinged. Guess where? What was it at 3:40 something? His phone pings right there where the bike is found. I mean, what do we need? Pictures of him standing there? But again, Casey Anthony is walking free. She may be a pariah in society, but unfortunately, she's walking free. So it's possible. Unfortunately, again, the best. Longhorn might have 85, but I believe Puma Path did. I'm sorry, Cat's Eye. What did you mean by Longhorn might have 85, but I believe Puma Path did? He didn't kill 85 in one go, did he? Matt, he claims he did. He claims he did that night. He was out there with a 22. That's why he said that his phone was pinging all over the place outside, is because he was shooting chipmunks and he shot 85 of them. He's good now. Can't call Guinness Book of World Records. He must have a chipmunk invasion. Isn't that the truth? Hope they checked his DNA with Delphi Bridge Guy. I've heard a lot of people say that, and I've seen some of the connections. I've looked into some of the connections, kind of like, I won't go into them all, but the one of the pieces of land that was searched for the Delphi case was the land of someone who was in construction business partners with, was it Barry, or a man Barry knew in Indiana? So, I mean, there are some kind of weird things, but I also believe in that movie. What is it called? Is it How Many Degrees of Separation? Because that does happen quite a bit. Possible, you never know. I'm sure they'll dig into his past as far as that goes too. When the FBI and CBI is involved, you can bet you've got some top-notch people on it. Had to come check it out. You always have good info and reasoning. Well, thank you, baby girl. He needs tranquilizing, period. It's exactly what I said. There was someone who had commented on Facebook that they believed that he needed or taken a tranquilizer or something. And I said, well, he seems to have plenty to go around. He knew about her affair. That's why he killed her. He lied about his marriage being so great, never once mentioned about their troubled marriage. Why? Why didn't he tell police troubled marriage? Because he knew it didn't work out well for Chris Watts, telling him there was marital discord. That worked out really bad for him. And also, if there was um, infidelity that they could prove as far as on Suzanne's part, that is just not, well, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a hard time with my thoughts today. That would be reason for murder, or not reason, but that would be, an explanation of what would make him lose what little crazy mind he had left. Sorry guys, I'm just having a hard time with my words today. And he did know about her affair. I wonder how long he quite knew. And I said in one of my previous videos, like one of the last two, maybe three, but I think two, about Suzanne, that things came to a head that weekend. That foundation was so rocky to begin with. And that weekend, I wondered, and I think I've mentioned it before in the videos, I wonder if the children, I shouldn't say children because they're pretty much adults, but they are still kids, sent away and let them go on that trip so they could have their time to, try to salvage, make decisions, as Suzanne said, make it, amicable, do it civilly. So I think that may have played a role in it, but things definitely came to a head that weekend. And I think that since the phone call ended abruptly, what was it, somewhere between 2 and 3 p.m. in the afternoon, that's when his phone, and this is right after he comes home. He comes home. I don't know if he came home after he told, what's her name that worked with him, Gentile Morgan, and he said he had to go make the wife happy, go hiking, something, to that effect. And he left early at 11. Okay, well, if he didn't get home until around 2 or 3 o'clock, that's quite a bit of time. So did he get home earlier? There was an argument. He left because she said, he didn't want to engage. He would storm off. So did he storm off and then come back and he possibly, got into her iCloud? I don't know. But somehow it was confirmed and that she was seeing someone else. And when she sent him that message too, I'm done. I'm done. I want to do this civilly. It's over. You've been, cheating. I suspect you've been cheating, and have for years. And that was something very different from her. And he knew, I think, that she meant business and that things were bad. He was losing her and her money. And that's why it was the text message, "I love you, Suzanne." And then you've got the next text message, which is typical of a manipulator that wants to make her feel guilty by saying he's going to commit suicide. He's going to meet his savior. Well, he didn't meet his savior, but he's meeting the judge, and he's probably going to end up meeting Bubba, hopefully. But that was all manipulation on his point, or on his part, because he knew she meant business that time. And when he got home, because that last picture supposedly of her alive that she took and sent to Jeff, did he catch her taking that? And he tried to take her phone from her once in Mexico to look at it. Did he finally wrangle it from her? And everything, their broken marriage, his alleged cheating in the past, etc. And it did erupt. It come to a daggone head. Hell no, and Gone Girl isn't about that. Yeah, no Gone Girl. Yes, she said that her and Jeff wanted to move to Ecuador and, on some mission that they had. And they were just, kind of dreaming because they were both obviously miserable. And Suzanne had been through more than what most of us can completely ever imagine in her lifetime. So she found someone to listen to her and that cared about what she had to say and was kind to her, didn't maybe mock her or, gaslight her. And as she said, he was abrasive and abusive. Well, we all knew that from about what, a minute or two into Tyson Draper's video. Thank God Tyson Draper did that. I swear, I still give that guy a thumbs up. That was pretty awesome, man. You really did a good job there. And there's one more thing I want to say before I get back into these comments and start, talking to you guys, and maybe we can bounce some ideas and stuff. Um, you know, it's hard a lot of times to say that you're sorry. And this is it's not off topic, but it is. But there has been a video or two of mine where I have, if not accused, but at least insinuated that Suzanne's good friend, Holly, was cheating with Barry. And that may be true, I don't know. But now that I know that she was working for law enforcement, I feel this tall. And I wouldn't be any kind of a person if I did not sincerely apologize to her with everything in me. And I'm truly sorry. You did the right thing. And I was very accusatory. And I hope that you can find it within yourself to forgive me if you ever hear this, someone tells you about it, or anything else. But I just wanted to say that I'm very sorry for that. I always wondered if the daughters were sent on that camping trip on purpose. Barry Morphew treated Suzanne Morphew as a possession. Amen, Gigi Petro. He may not have wanted her, but he wasn't going to let anyone else have her. Yes. And it seems like a lot of abusers are that way. I'm sorry, guys. I can't read it. I can't get it back up on my screen, so I'm having to read my phone here. So don't think that, again, someone's accused me of going to sleep and stuff before. So I'm good. I'm just looking down for a second. Cat's eye, because the Barry defenders are saying her prints was on it, not Barry's. Yeah, because he was fixing it. Prints were on what? What were these prints on? Did he have an answer for each trash stop he made? Happy Heart, no. He did not have an answer for every trip he made. He said he could not recall what he threw away in at least 5 dumpsters, at least 5. And where are they? Or what was it? Now, someone did say that, I don't know if this was in the preliminary hearing, so don't quote me on that part. But it was said that something camo and something teal was thrown away. Now, instantly, I thought of her blue bike stuff because that's what that was his big thing. He never described her, he described the bike stuff. So that's automatically what I went to. But that's not the case at all, I don't think, because someone had posted a picture in a group on Facebook of him wearing, oddly enough, camo with this turquoise, the face thing to keep it warm that usually men wear now for a mask if they go in somewhere and wear it around their neck like a scarf. And it was teal. And I went, oh my gosh, surely God, that's not what he threw away. But the jacket wasn't like January Colorado, I would think, jacket. It wasn't quite that thick. It was thick, but not quite that thick. So I'm wondering how cold it was. I want to go and look at the weather to see, what the temperature was through the night on May 9th, even May 8th, even the 10th, what the temperature got down to those nights. But no, he did not have an answer for what was in the trash. He didn't remember. But remember, this is a man with OCD. Did you hear what they said about his truck? They pretty much described my significant other's truck, who's a contractor. You could not find anything in there if you had to. Needle in a haystack. I mean, it looks like a bomb went off. So they pretty much described his in the same way. And it looked like, of course, like I said, because I knew from experience from my husband having all these, or significant others, same as husband, all these tools and stuff in there, that I can see Barry taking out, just these random things to make it look good, to throw them out there, because he's going to have them in his truck because of his career, obviously. Seen Plunder today, ref, Gone Girl. Whoa, she referenced Gone Girl? She highlighted how disrespectful referring to Susanna's Gone Girl is and how it diminishes the severity of what has happened to Suzanne. Amen. Matt, yes. Scared me there when I first started reading it. I'm like, what? Plunder? I love Plunder. She's great. I mean, I don't have time to listen to a lot of other people anymore. And once I started my own channel, a friend of mine told me, because I said I'm always afraid that I'm going to repeat something someone else has done. And she said, stop watching other channels for a while, and until you get comfortable doing your own. Well, I've done that, and I just haven't gotten back into really watching the channels as much. Maybe once in a blue moon I'll catch one. But the behavior panel, I'm in love with them. Oh my God, I'm in love with them. You guys got to go check them out. They're awesome. Yeah, plunder is right. It is diminishing. It's disgusting. I have always wondered if the daughters were some. Yeah, we went through that one. Cat's eye, because the Barry defenders are saying her prints. I want to see if someone ever answered that. Suzanne realized Barry was deranged only after he isolated her in Colorado, so she was desperate to escape. Jeff was her way out. Ann Lane, I agree with you 100% there. I mean, I think, monetary issues and maybe a couple other things played into it. Maybe allegedly his infidelity at first in Indiana, but I think you're right on the money with that isolation in Colorado, because I said that way back when, and he is deranged, not was. I think he's still there, because he's still making up some of the craziest things I've heard, and what are you doing running around the house? And that's another thing, guys. And I hate to make jokes about it, but where he's pinging all around the house, where some people have sadly and just terribly questioned, which may be true, is he chasing Suzanne, that dark gun. But they said his excuse was the reason he was pinging and running all around outside was because he was shooting those chipmunks. So was he wrangling them or was he shooting them? I'm confused. Was he beating them over the head with the gun? Was he got up to them and chased them down? I mean, how exactly does that work? I've never known of a hunter to run after their prey. I always thought that, it's what deer stands in. The camo is for you sit and you wait. You don't chase things. So, I mean, that blew my mind. And I'm not some avid hunter, I wish we knew what true crime show he listened to. I know. Listen, we've got to try to figure that out. It was a podcast about a woman who went missing supposedly from a bike ride. And if I'm not mistaken, her bike was also found. I think it was in the state of Connecticut. I bet if I'll Google it here in just a second after I go through there. Yes, Tyson was a true hero for recording that. Let me just tell you, not only did that that took a lot of nerve, and I give it to him. That's awesome. Oh, there's a problem with my server. Okay, there it goes. All right. Suzanne probably believed she was not going to make it and wanted to experience love before she died. Yeah, I agree. And Suzanne had, like she kind of told her sister, from what we know the little bit of, that she had put up with so much for so many years because, as her friend Teresa Fountain, what a sweet woman, had commented, and I just loved the way she described her, the words she used, because from everything I had heard, it fit to a T. She described her as meek. And with Suzanne being a meek person, she wasn't a confrontational person. She wasn't what a lot of people probably think about me. God, she's probably just a loudmouth or something, and whatever it may be, or confrontational, but that wasn't Suzanne. So he was able to really break her down and break her down hard. But I think with Jeff and getting over that second round of cancer and her working out, let me tell you, the body and legs on that beautiful woman at her age, especially on a 20-year-old woman, they look good. So I think Suzanne was starting to maybe find and feel herself again. And then it was ripped out. It was snuffed out from her. Yeah, I agree, Anne. Anne and I agree on a lot of things. And she said, I think Suzanne had to reach out to Jeff to escape Barry. I don't think she planned to steal him away. She just wanted free from Barry and couldn't file for divorce till far away. I think that sums it all up, Anne. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I want to get my chat back up here. It's driving me nuts. Oh, what I do? Collapse menu. Where? What menu? Well, I don't want to get off on some. I'll figure it out somehow. Send feedback. All right. Anyway, I wanted to look up the temperature in Colorado. Hey, since I'm on my phone and my computer and can't get to anything else, can someone look up the temperature through the nights of the 8th, especially the 9th and the 10th of May? That would be so awesome if you could please do me that favor. On that chipmunk thing, my hubs hates when they come to his blind, start giving away he's there. He doesn't ever shoot them, even at the house. Swerves to miss them in the road. Barry Morphew killed to kill. As avid as a hunter as he was, I've wondered that myself. Because, I mean, I've met some what I call avid hunters before I knew who Barry Morphew was. And that's because they were ready for deer season, and maybe even squirrel season. But he takes it to a level of, I don't know. He reminds me, and I hate to say this, and I probably shouldn't, but I have a hard time with a filter, and it's live and no edit. But he seems like one of those sick human beings, and I think Nicole Kidman's dad was even accused of it, of putting humans out like on a piece of property and hunting them. They paid to hunt humans. And I wonder if he might have had that whacked mindset. Who knows? I think he caught her talking to Jeff and went into a rage. Katrina R., that is what I want to believe so bad, but wasn't it supposedly Sheila she was talking to? Or was it Jeff that she was talking to when the call abruptly ended. Her phone no longer pinged. His went on airplane mode, yada, yada, yada. But that's the only thing that keeps me from wondering that is, wasn't she on the phone with her good friend Sheila about the wedding? Did Barry isolate Suzanne in Colorado to rob her because he couldn't do that in Indiana? Yes, I think so. Because I think that he could only seclude her so much from her family there. And also, I think he couldn't seclude her from everyone. It's not like she grew up in Chicago. We're talking about a smaller town. So she knew a lot of the people there owning a business there and working in it. I'm sure she knew a lot of the town. So, unless he got her away from there, it'd be very difficult to isolate her in Indiana, I believe. His prints were supposedly on the security equipment wiring. Really? How did I miss that, Gigi Petro? Was that in day one or day two? Like, right. Suzanne's handprints were on their camera system because she was trying to fix it. Wait. Oh, her prints were on the wiring. I misread that. So Suzanne's handprints were on the wiring. Yeah, that makes complete sense, Anne, that she would be trying to fix it. She disabled what? So she could cover up her own disappearance and murder? I mean, it amazes me the things that some people come up with. Yeah, I mean, Jesus God. The affair started before the move to Colorado. I do think that is why Barry wanted her there, though, to get her away from Jeff. Just my opinion, until we see more to control Suzanne. Wait a minute, Diane. Now, I thought the affair started after she had moved to Colorado. Am I wrong in that, Dana Meyer? Or can someone tell me? Was I wrong in that? I thought she started seeing Jeff Libler after the move to Colorado. Please, someone correct me because I can't stand misinformation. And I sure don't want to put it out there intentionally. That, hey, that's if the affair started before Colorado. Yeah, maybe Barry did want to try to get her away from there, but I thought their move to Colorado was supposed to be a fresh start, towards their marriage, what have you, trying to salvage what was left of a couple plus decades. I think he planned this before Colorado. He was hoping she died from her cancer. Is it Zooid or Zoid? Okay, now I thought that in the beginning that he planned her move or her murder in advance. But I don't think he did, for the simple fact that he made way too many mistakes, and Sunday was a rush. Oh shit. Oh God. I got to do something fast. Oh God, what now? Though the things he did there, knowing it was illegal to work that day on that job, nothing was ordered, there were no tools, the whole thing. I think he would have planned that better, wouldn't he? Surely to God, he would have had a better alibi than that. After listening to forensic podcasts and stuff, I don't know, but yeah, that's crossed my mind, and I've thought about it too. I wonder if Barry, when he said someone close to her did this, maybe he was trying to imply that it was Jeff, which I wondered, well, why didn't Jeff come up and say anything? But Jeff was married. Jeff didn't want to have to deal with the home front, and that. And what was the rush out of Indiana? Suzanne had no communications, no security system, no landline, exactly no cell phone connection, no support system in Colorado. Isolated her on purpose. And I believe that he did isolate her on purpose. And that's very typical with an abuser. Now, as far as the landline, from what her brother has said, Barry had the landline that was originally there taken out. That to me speaks volumes. It truly does. And the rush out of Indiana, Suzanne wanted to be around her girls, and I think it was some kind of weird Barry, I'm a big man, hear me roar, Hunter, I can go to Colorado and, start a business there. And I think Barry had a lot of pipe dreams, and I think they thought that a new place would be new on their marriage. They didn't realize that broken foundation was being packed in those boxes as well. And a lot of people do that. I mean, not to say they're the only guilty party that's ever done that, because a lot of people do that out of a desperate attempt to save their marriage. There's a lot more coming. Dana, I agree. I think he friend requested those men too. And who said that? Katrina. I wonder if he didn't send those requests to point to Jeff so that he could say they went to Ecuador or she took off with him, without him screaming, she had a boyfriend, because that's motive for murder. He can't be screaming that. That looks bad on him, and he knows he already looks awful. I mean, look at the weight that man's lost. Holy crap. Sleeping with his back to the wall took a toll on that man. And my original thought in the beginning is a possible steroid use. I don't think he can get his hands on any anymore either. And then stress. Yeah, he's looking rough. Yes, and the reason you friend requested me, the point when a woman is ready to leave a relationship, especially with a narcissist, is the most dangerous time, because the abuser realizes that they have lost all control. Gigi Petro, you are not just right on that, like bullseye on that, but do you know that that is the most dangerous time for a woman in her marriage, period, is when she leaves. Statistically. But, I mean, statistics are there for a reason. 9 times out of 10, people fall into them, except for your Shane Carey's, who I had to apologize as well. I had to apologize about that, because, a suspected murderer with fans. That is so messed up, isn't it? Isn't it? I mean, Charles Manson has fans. Casey Anthony has fans. Isn't that just Chris Watts has fans? Scott Peterson. It's amazing to me. Unless these people are like us and just want to get in to go, what in the hell got you there? How in the world did you get here? I mean, what went wrong here? But I don't think that's the case with a lot of them. Glad to see you back on, Jill. Thank you. I was trying to scroll up, make sure I didn't miss anything. Like the movie The Game. I don't think I've seen that. He is a predator, and he does enjoy killing. What is it? Sekhmet's Secret Weapon? Did I pronounce that right? I hope so. I'm sorry if I didn't. The movie Hard Target, Gene or Jean-Claude Van Damme. Sorry. There's a movie about rich hunters in New Orleans hunting people. Yes. And Lane, like I said, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's something that Nicole Kidman's dad was accused of, because he was kind of like your Jeffrey Epstein weirdo guy. And yeah, so you've got some weirdos out there. What was the crazy number that Chase Hughes from the behavior panel put out the other day? How many murderers you pass daily? I would not leave my house if I thought about that too much. I truly wouldn't. I pray they have more evidence they found from his trash runs, you and me both. And I hope they have taken that landfill apart in Chaffee County, the way right in his route going to Broomfield. I hope they went through that with a fine-tooth comb. And I know the CBI and the FBI are some of the best at what they do. I know that. But you can't help but kind of go, damn, I hope they went through that good. Humans make mistakes, Not to say that they're not good at what they do. Yeah, from the trash runs. Also the car wash. Because why didn't he just pull up to the gas pump and clean the windshield? Why go into a car wash? Maybe wash out the bed of the truck. My thing with that is, didn't he have some kind of tools and stuff in the bed? That's odd to me, unless he put a tarp or something over it. Most men that have, such as like my significant other, that continuously carry, saws and forms, rebar, all kinds of stuff in the bed of his truck, doesn't typically take it through a car wash like that. So when they said that his car was a mess, bed and all, what? Was it wet? Was it all wet and ruined? I mean, he was trying to get rid of something to do that, in my opinion. Let me make that clear. Totally addicted to the hunt. Yep, I agree. Yes. And like I said, I do hope they found more stuff from his trash runs. Ball on my head. Sorry, guys. Yeah, all those mini trash runs. Was it like at least five dumpsters? But he doesn't remember what he put in anything. But he remembers exactly what he was doing all through the middle of the night, everywhere his phone pinged. He had an excuse and knew down to the detail about all of that. But he doesn't know what he threw away in a dumpster in five that you couldn't put in just one. Why would you have to spread things out like that? Come on, man. I hope to God there's not a Casey Anthony juror selected for this man. Slight temp below freezing at night, 5/8/2020. Thank you, Castle Rocker Mom. I bet that it couldn't have been much warmer the next night or the following night or the night previous to that, no matter what, just to seal it in and give some days on each end to, say, nah, you're lying again. Thank you so much. I'm going to screenshot that because I was going to look it up and I want to put that in my Suzanne Morphew file. No, hers were. So it was her prints on the wires. That's what I'm assuming. California Thunder. Okay, thank you. So her prints, not his. I cannot remember which day. That's interesting to me because why would she think it would be wiring instead of a bulb that went out, right? Wouldn't that be right? Or, well, no, if it was a camera, I guess a bulb wouldn't have gone out. But was there something unhooked? I mean, I can't, I'm not being rude, but I mean, speaking for myself, but I'm computer illiterate. Maybe it's just me. What about you guys? Tell me. If you had cameras all around your home and none of them were working, would you feel confident enough to try to work on them unless maybe you saw a wire hanging out that you thought you might be able to fix on one? I mean, I don't know that I would have felt that confident. I don't know. But it's interesting because she told her sister that she was afraid. And so she was afraid and scared. And that weekend she was afraid. So it's interesting to me that her prints were found, that she got to the point where she said, I need help. Oh God, these cameras they've got to get back in working order. Wow, that poor woman. My Lord. You know, it's sick to say because I do not believe in infidelity, but with this situation, I'm glad she had Jeff. I'm truly glad that she had someone in her life that she felt was kind to her and that she felt comfortable around and felt some joy around. And an unknown guy was on the cable, in the blue cable, not Prince. So maybe Jeff came over to try to help her fix them because didn't he know how uncomfortable she was in the situation and that she was afraid to leave him? That makes sense to me. Oh, K Social Equality said, I thought it was too unidentified male, but I could have it wrong. The affair was a year and a half. And didn't they live there almost 2? So it probably started right after they moved to Colorado. They had lived there, golly, I keep wanting to say it was so close to 2 years, but I'd have to go back and look to be sure. You may be very right on that, Castle Rocker mom. Or no, who was that? K Social Equality. When was her howdy stranger message to him? I don't know. I will have to go back and look. It's hard to get when I'm using both of these, and I have a file of just Suzanne stuff. And I also have a zip up old school notes that are a mess. So I don't want to waste your guys' time digging through all that crap, but I will give you an answer. I will somehow get to you and give you an answer on that. The affair started November 18th after the move in May. They moved in, so I guess they moved in May and the affair had started the following November. Is that correct, Lulabelle? If it was 2018, it was 2018 when she contacted Jeff, good old England, thank you. How long were they in Colorado? I believe it was right under 2 years. It wasn't much under 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. 68 and 70 degrees, May 9th and 10th in Colorado. Cat's Eye. Now, Cat's Eye, was that in the night? Was that during the day, like in sunlight hours? Or was that, from midnight till say 6 a.m. before the sun came up, when it would be colder? Thank you, Coexist 2020. It was like the movie Killing season. May, Lula Bell, May. Okay, so it was May. So then it was the following November that she began the relationship with him. Now I know they didn't find she had an extramarital affair until, of course, November of this past year, though. I think the rush out of Indiana had something to do with Barry Morphew. The affair started after they moved, like 6 months after Gigi Petro. I kind of thought that. I wasn't sure though. That's why I didn't want to say, you know, too much because hey, I've been wrong before. Like I said, I feel awful and I had to apologize to Lauren or shoot, Holly, um, and Shane. I mean, everybody's wrong once in a while, right, guys? But I think the rush out of Indiana did have something to do with Barry. It probably had something to do with Barry's business dealings. I don't know that. That's speculation, but just by knowing what I know of the type of person he is, that's what I'm going to suspect. Yeah, I love Jill. Oh, thank you, Shell. That was sweet. Some people are cruel. One woman left on one of my videos yesterday. It's an older video that that I was talking slow that day, and it was annoying to her. And I thought that is something medical. How dare you be so ugly? I can't help it on those days. I mean, I do well to keep my thoughts together those days. I thought Jeff started after the Colorado move and Lane. That's what I saw, yes. I think maybe Suzanne needed drugs via Jeff because Barry maybe stopped the doctor giving her drugs. Oh no, are you kidding me? Do you really think that? Because I know he was really ugly about her taking any kind of pain medication. The strongest of the strong pain medication is mostly given to cancer patients. I mean, come on, guys. That's just cruel and unusual. But if she was getting them from Jeff, illegal or not, if Suzanne was feeling better mentally and physically after being broken down for so many years, yay, Suzanne. Yay, Suzanne. You know, at least you got some kind of warm feeling of companionship from another human being. That makes me feel good to know that you at least got to experience that. The bike is almost always taken away from scene, never left behind as a clue. Right, exactly, exactly. And my thing has always been too. Okay, even with serial killers that don't really want to be caught, even leave bodies everywhere, everywhere, even if it's just under a pile of leaves. If they go that far as to cover it up, which they usually don't. They just, find them wherever. When you go to this length to hide a body, dear God, you've got a lot more to hide other than that body. What have you done? Yeah, you're not gonna leave the bike behind. You're not gonna leave the evidence behind. The reason why Suzanne went to Colorado was because one of her daughters was there, yeah, at college, and she tried to improve her marriage. Yes, I agree. Good old English. That seems what it is. Well, she may not have only had one bike, Matt. Never thought about that. But only one bike. I don't understand what that is about because I mean only one bike was found as far as, saying she was on it. He thought she died of cancer. I sadly agree. I think I hate to even let this cross my lips, but I think that Barry was disappointed that Suzanne didn't die. I truly believe that. I think that when she overcame cancer that last time, he said, I can't do this and I don't know how else to get out. And then she angered him and hurt his ego to the point where he's murdered her, in my opinion. And obviously, in the opinion of the state of Colorado, getting a hell of a storm in Utah. I know it's been here, gonna be here all week. Jill, I sent you the temperature. Yes, ma'am. I saw that and it was very, very cold. So that means that it was very cold the night. Thank you so much for that, Castle Rocker Mom. Weather slighted May 10th, high 70, low 20s. Yeah, high low 40s, low 40s. Yeah, that jacket would have been perfect. That jacket would have been perfect. And oddly enough, that thing was teal around his neck. And I'm sure he got rid of that thing because it probably had the most of whatever he thought would get him caught on it. Because she was new to biking and she'd had the bike fixed. Okay, her cancer returned 1 month after moving there. That's why the Sekhmet secret weapon, her cancer returned 1 month after moving there. And I think that's why she made the comment to her friend that she was not going to stay around this time and let her health decline. She was not going to do it this time. So I think she knew in her heart that her mental state with him was not helping her physically get any better. And she made that clear. If Jeff didn't know Barry, he would not want Barry coming after him and his family. So it's a reason to stay silent. I agree, Anne. And also, he doesn't want his wife and possibly children and, his parents, if they're alive, etc., knowing that he was having an affair with this woman that's all over the news, as if that's not hard enough to take, in a family. That just makes it worse. So I can see his silence and his hesitation coming forward. So no one would know what she was doing her inheritance. Jeff lives in Michigan. It was after the move. Did I say Indiana? Or did I say Michigan? I may have said Indiana. I'm sorry if I did. It's funny because I have so many cases going right now, like 3 or 4 of them. That's a lot to know specific details on, and more coming out every day. And plus, I am originally from Michigan until I was 18 years old. So I get a little mixed up and want to say Indiana. Sorry. Suzanne had cell phone coverage, or she wouldn't have been able to have an affair. Good point. Very, very good point, Heather Bostick. I like the way you think. It amazes me that when, they wanted to use this line, and I'm assuming they probably went off of their Wi-Fi or something as far as their calls, because you can do that. I do it on mine sometimes. So it's amazing to me that all of these calls that they wanted to come in or weren't afraid of explaining why they came in. They're all perfectly fine. They can get through fine. Communication's good until it's convenient. Then phones get put on airplane mode. There's absolutely zero reception. Now, I know there was poor reception. I understand that. But why was there absolutely none at the most detrimental of times? That strikes me as odd, unless he got her into a part of the home where there wasn't any. But still, for that long, I don't know. It just seems odd to me. Jeff went to high school with Suzanne and Barry, correct. Plus, you have to remember Suzanne's dad was alive at the time she disappears. I don't think she would have left on her own and did that to Jean. Dana Meyer, I 100% agree with you. There are a million reasons I could list on why Suzanne Morphew did not take off, whether it be to Ecuador, Mexico, or any other country, including this one. Unfortunately, her husband has murdered her, in my opinion, and in the state of Colorado's opinion. Was Barry running from Delphi because that case is still unsolved? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't looked much into that. I've seen it mentioned a few times, and I've looked very very little, very shallow. It was shallowly done what I looked into. I saw some connections, but I don't know. I don't know. Was Barry there during that time? Was Barry in Colorado during the time of Delphi? Does anybody know? All right, where are we here? Where did that? Okay, I left off with Anne. All right, baby girl. All right, the borders were closed due to COVID. Aha, Bud Welker. See, that's why he's out of. That's why I love these conversations where we can bounce this stuff off of each other, and the things that one of us doesn't think of, the other one does. So, can you imagine the FBI and the CBI in a room together, and in a war room, an interview room, and their knowledge and their expertise going at it? It amazes me they haven't found her yet with the phone pings like they did in the Vallow case, the Lori Vallow case. Yes, and he fled there so fast. Sekhmet, secret weapon. You think that he was possibly in on the Delphi as well? How many of you guys think that? I'm curious, because if so, I'm gonna dig further into that. If you guys really believe that he was part of that, I want to look into it. Glad to see you back, Jill. Thank you, bud. Oh, wait a minute, Cook Goose. Hold on. Okay, you said she was diagnosed. I'm sorry, I'm slow, guys, trying to catch up with the chat. Because I get to talking. Nothing new for me. She was diagnosed with cancer for the second time after moving to Colorado, so that theory doesn't work. Wait a minute. I thought she was in treatment when she moved there because wasn't that a discussion between her sister and her? And she was confident that she could find doctors there that would be able to help her and treat her just as good. I might be wrong, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. All right, absolutely. There's way more to come. Okay, social equality, I agree. And they will only give out just enough info in the hearing as needed for now to get a trial, and then they will release all the tea for a conviction. I agree. I hope that, but the thing is that they have to show the discovery to the defense. They can't hide the discovery of what they've got. But I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping they're doing it because it's sealed and they're trying to keep it under wraps for whatever reason. But I'm hoping maybe that's the reason they're doing it. Wait a minute here. Okay. The creepers leave a cancer trail everywhere too. That is true. All right. It was reported by Lauren Sharf via another inmate that Barry was not only in his own cell, but also his own pod. They kept him away from talking to anyone. Sorry. Oops. Did I do that? Think he used a picture for Face ID. All right. Bleem couldn't handle that Suzanne had the brains and the beauty. I agree. And the money and the go and the gumption to go do it and leave his sorry arse behind. And he was floored that Miss built like a 25 looking all good Suzanne was feeling herself and decided Nope, I deserve better than this, and I'm leaving to go get it. And that made him blow his top. It came to a head that weekend. I knew it had. Maybe Barry battered her even to stop her working. He may have threatened her if she told. Lots of ladies stop working to hide bruises, injuries they can't leave or would. Ann Lane. Okay, I have a couple questions on that. Now, well, one of them's a statement. Now, let's see, Macy said that she had never seen Barry physically abusive with Suzanne. Mallory backed her up in her interview after. So I'm wondering, did he do it when the girls weren't around? Because they were at that age where they would stay gone quite a bit. They're not going to know when they come home. It could be, oh, I ran into the hot tub and it bruised my leg, instead of, your dad shoved me up against the dining room table and it bruised my leg, whatever it may have been. So, but the second part, he may have threatened her if she told. Lots of ladies stop working to hide bruises, injuries. Did she stop working at the domestic violence shelter that she was volunteering at? Or do you mean out in the workforce? Now I can see him keeping her out of the workforce. And truly, I can see him keeping her out of volunteering for any kind of battered women's shelter as well. But who knows? So, but I'm kind of curious. Are you saying that she quit? Did she quit this before her disappearance? They found the darts. Beautiful. They found, what was it, the dart gun, I think, in the garage. They find something like small like darts. Wouldn't they find the rest? Well, they found the cap, Suzanne Thompson. They found the cap, I believe it was in the washer, and they found the other parts in the garage. He's a sick man with a shady past, which should be researched extensively. I agree. I would be terribly afraid to own the land that his tree farm was on. God only knows what is on that poor thing, what secrets it holds. It was probably, what is this? That's crazy. A lot of inmates confide in other inmates, and Barry Morphew loves to run his yap. It was probably requested by his lawyers. I don't know. With this big national case, it depends on their facility, how it's set up to hold and handle and deal with people like that. That may be all they can do. Like with the Chris Watts thing, they were telling him, yelling through the vent and telling him how to drown himself in the toilet and everything else. It was crazy. I'm not saying it was unjustified, but it was crazy. No names were dropped, just info. Whoa, Matt, what are you asking? You couldn't handle names, man. Which female? Okay. Now, Matt, I have a question for you. Do you think that Holly that she's 100% working with law enforcement and wasn't shady behind the scenes? I feel so bad and have apologized for that. I feel terrible. Man, I wouldn't do that for nothing. If I really thought that she had nothing to do with that, I would have never said or done anything like that. I feel terrible. He met Suzanne when she was a teen and made her meek. You know what? Secret weapon. You may be very right on that. You may be very right. He may have mentally abused and beaten her into submission. That's terrible to think about. Didn't Suzanne and Jeff reconnect first time in person in late November of 2019? Strawberry Wine asked. Can anyone confirm that the first time she reconnected with Jeff was in 2019? It's possible that the truck was a diversion, knowing that he had all these sensors built into his truck. There's a possibility that he used another vehicle to get rid of Suzanne. I'm telling you, I've wondered whether it be like a side by side or something. And I hope to God they have gone through that landfill with a fine tooth comb and down by the river. Poncha Springs Market, dumpster diving there as per store staff. He was looking for blue helmet, biker clothes. And isn't that weird? Now, that's very odd to think about. That he was diving in the dumpsters looking for her stuff, which I've brought up in videos. It's just crazy to think about. I mean, who in the hell's going to throw it away? Come on. But now that he went there looking like an idiot, not knowing that people 9 times out of 10 aren't going to do it that close to home and right in front of the only local store. And there's tons of vast land out there he could have done it in. But that was obviously Barry's mindset. That was his thinking. Because look what he did. He went to at least 5 dumpsters getting rid of stuff. I guess maybe that was, they have what you call, an embedded confession in speech when it comes to speech analysis. So I'm wondering if this is I'm going to ask a friend of mine that does this professionally, if that was like a behavioral type admission. Interesting. I'm going to note that. I'm going to take a screenshot of that too. And there you go. How do you feel about his alleged relationship with Mallory? I think that, here's my story. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've never spoken about the girls. I've chosen not to for a lot of reasons. I was a little bit younger than Mallory when I lost my mother. She was 21? Or 20. So she was the same age as I was. And I know what I went through trying to process that. And then come to find out, and I kind of suspected my dad was seeing another woman while she was dying. And so there were a lot of decisions I made at that time that I would not make to this day. I was a young child myself, and I just thought that it was unfair to talk about them, to really even judge them in any way because of their immaturity, because of possibly what they had been threatened with. Also, you have to think these girls had gone from, that was their nest, their only means of anything. Food, shelter, you name it. Yeah, one lived with a boyfriend, but I promise you, if Barry and Suzanne were not supporting her financially, she wouldn't have a vehicle, she wouldn't have health insurance, yada, yada, yada. Okay? So these children knew nothing outside of their parents. They knew their parents were having some marital discord. It seems Macy knew a lot more than Mallory did. I have a feeling Macy probably told Mallory. And it seemed that Macy had more of a softer heart towards her mother. Now, the way I look at it with Mallory was the firstborn. And she looks just like Barry. She looks like a male version of Barry. She's a beautiful girl, but she looks like a male version of Barry. So I think Barry kind of, daddy's girl type thing. And I was a daddy's girl. And even though I saw my dad doing this wrong, I was young, it hurt. I didn't know how to deal with it. So I've had a hard time talking about the girls because I don't know what they're going through. They don't have their mother. And later on, they're going to have a lot to deal with. And not only that, they only have their father left to lean on. financially, emotionally. Now they don't have a home. Their home is gone. Their mother's gone. Their home is gone. Their father's gone. I think that his relationship with Mallory has been so very close from day one, being the firstborn daughter. I think she's gotten what she's wanted anytime she's ever asked. And I think she believed everything her dad said about her mom. Macy, on the other hand, I think questioned what he said. I don't think she believed it quite as much. Mallory and her mother, I believe now that whole thing about the police showing up, the domestic violence thing with her and Mallory, because I hate to say it, but I kind of see Mallory as being a little bit like Barry. And then you've got Barry influencing her. And now it's nurture, not nature, it's nurture. So I see Mallory being his biggest defender. I see Mallory screaming to the day she dies that her father's innocent. I think one day Macy, and if she hasn't already, will come to terms with the fact of what's happened. I think she still loves her father though, and I can't fault her for that. That's her father. So I don't blame these girls, and it's hard. It's difficult for me, and this is the first time I've ever spoken about them. Really, as far as getting into any kind of detail. So I've never spoken about them. I've given their respect because of their age. Had they been complete 25, 35-year-old women, I might have had a bit more to say, and it might have been very different what I said. So as far as Mallory, there's my thing. I think that he caters to her because she looks just like him. That's daddy's girl. And I think if Mallory told him to jump, he would be begging her to tell him how high. And I think that became a problem between he and Suzanne, because I'm sure when Suzanne went to possibly discipline her, Barry was there to step in the way. I'm sure of it, in my mind, in my opinion, to step in the way to defend his baby. And then that's become Mallory today. This is the result. Oops, November of 2018. Sorry. So wait a minute, Strawberry Wine. You're saying that Jeff and Suzanne met up first 2 years before she died? Or went missing and was murdered? We all assume and kind of know. Really? Is that right? November 2018. Punch Springs. It's very creepy. If you want to get rid of squirrels or any other rodents in your gardens, chop up some Irish Spring soap and put it around your garden or hang it in your trees. They hate the smell. J. Stelladoro. Maybe that's why he was running and racing around over there. Maybe he was slinging Irish Spring everywhere. She probably got sick of being surveilled all day. Amen, Annalise. Yes, maybe Barry removed Mallory's bed sheets for some other reason than pertaining to Suzanne. Whoa, what? Anne, Lane, wait a minute. What are we talking about here? Maybe Barry removed Mallory's bed sheets for some other reason than pertaining to Suzanne. Whoa, wait a minute. What bed sheets? And how do you know those were missing? This is the first I've heard of this, and why? Huh. Oh, God, is he taking her out in a bed sheet like Chris Watts? What's going on? He is... will bleed him dry. Matt, I hope they do. I hope they bleed him dry for his sake, but I hope they don't, because the girls, yeah, I mean, they have literally been just not kicked out of the nest completely dumped, just dumped them out of it. They're left to survive on their own right now. And that just kills me. It just breaks my heart for 'em. I mean, Suzanne is just devastated over this. Try hitting one chipmunk. It's not easy. It's not that good. He's not that good. Bud Welker, listen, if you can go out in one night's time and, even if it's mice, field mice, I don't care. You try and shoot and bring me back 85 of them. I mean, we're talking Guinness Book of World Records here. He's not that good at any damn thing he does. Obviously, marriage. No, I know that was a weird sideway, but I was thinking about the chipmunks. What that was about, I guess I got lost while I was talking. On Reddit at Matt LeBlanc. What did you ask, Matt? Okay. I don't know what that is. Wonder how often Suzanne's camera system was up and running. Ann Lane, I am so wanting to know that myself. And I promise you, FBI has known that for a long time now. I bet you they also know how long the neighbor's camera was out as well. I promise you they do. I can't wait to find out. I'm kind of hoping this does go to trial. I want to see the transcripts, the whole kit and caboodle. I'll be 2 years analyzing this crazy case. Kind of like I was the Watts case. I about drove myself nuts with that. That or the Casey Anthony. He isolated Suzanne to be near his daughter. What do you mean? Yeah. Oh, okay. I got what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And so did he move? Now that was my question. Did anybody find out? Didn't she move during treatment, during her cancer treatments? Or did she really not start them until after she got to Colorado? Because I thought her and her sister had that discussion. I haven't seen anyone answer if they knew the question or not yet. She took out the S cable, which is an input cable from a record device to a monitor. No information has been said that she took out the power of the camera. Really? Huh. Well, that's interesting. Then her cancer returns after 20 years. Yeah. Jeff never had been to Colorado, Gigi Petro says. I've wondered because I didn't hear that they had listed the 6 different places of their meetups. Has anyone heard of the 6 different places of where they met up? Has that been released? I didn't see it. Yeah, I don't think Jeff, I don't know if he was ever in Colorado. I can't say. Exactly. At least she felt love before what happened to her. God bless her. We have to wonder because Mallory said, if I can't have an identical man to my dad, then forget it. I want none. Ooh. I don't know. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. That didn't feel good. Even saying that. Feels worse now. It set in. Yikes. Hang on. Let me get back into where I was at. That threw me for a loop. He plotted her gone, didn't expect this attention. I agree with that, Secret Weapon. I do agree. I'm sorry I'm calling you Secret Weapon. I just don't want to have to keep mispronouncing your name if I am and insulting you. That's awful. I hate that. Okay, he plotted her gone, didn't expect this attention. I tend to agree with that. But if he plotted her gone, how come he didn't have a better damn alibi and he was rounding up employees at 4 or 5, was it 4 a.m. trying to get Morgan to get somebody to come work? And I mean, this was also last minute. He didn't even pack the tools in his truck that he would need to do that job to even make it look good. I mean, he didn't even order the damn stuff to do it with to make it look good. I mean, it was just all, and he knew he was on camera. He made mention of that with Lauren Sharf during one of the interviews. I didn't do anything wrong there. There's cameras everywhere. I'm sure they picked me up. Yeah, he knew the cameras were there, so I'm sure he did very little there. But why didn't he plan better than this if he planned it for so long? He didn't even plan an alibi. And he didn't even think about the fact that it's illegal to be working on Sunday, what he was doing. The fact he's going to do it on Mother's Day morning, which is outlandish and just absurd. And then just throw together this hurry, get some people together, and oh, here's a hammer and some nails. Good luck. What? We don't need a hammer and nails. We're working with mortar and cinder blocks, the bricks. So I wonder, did he plan it? Because this is some awful shitty planning if he did. But no, he didn't expect this attention. He did not. And he did not like it. That's why I gave it to him full blast. I've even had videos made about me because of it from his groupies. That's funny. I hate cheating, but bless her heart for finding what she felt was true love before she died. Law enforcement says I guess Jeff was never in Colorado. Yes, affair in Colorado, not in Indiana. Okay, good. Thank you. Coexist 2020. And yes, I hate cheating as well, but in this case, it's awful hard to hate on it, isn't it? Damn. Suzanne didn't cut those wires. Barry used her drugs or deceased hand to put prints on the security system wires. Possible. Would they be up awful high, though? Do you hear her hand up there? Unless, God forbid, I don't even want to say it, the hand's gone off the body and he uses it then, but then we've got the worry of blood everywhere. I'm thinking, I got to think on that. And also, what about the unidentified male? Who would have that been as well with hers? Something to think about. Thank you. That was Bud Welker. Annalise, I want to say it was fall of 2018 when they met. Really? Jeff let her down, though. Let's be honest. But it may work in Suzanne's favor. Matt, what do you mean by that? Jeff let her down, though. But it may work in her favor. By not coming forward? I mean, I agree. That was pretty low. Not coming forward and at least, showing his part in what happened to help them, if he cared anything about her whatsoever, to help them to find her. I do agree with that. But is that what you're meaning? That he let her down in that way? And I hope it does work in her favor. I really do. I really do. Howdy Text was in 2018 when they were in Indiana, I believe. But I thought they, in Indiana, good old England, were they in Indiana visiting when this happened? Because that's when they moved to Colorado, was that year, 2018. So it would have had to have been very early in the year, or they would have had to have been there visiting. Unidentified male was on her Range Rover glove box, probably a repairman to get the lug nut key to do something with tires. Well, yeah, and who's to say that her daughter didn't borrow her car, and a friend jumped in, or, just goofing around. You know how young teenagers are. They're always jacking with everything in the car, goofing around, and freeze out, roll the windows down. So I'm sure kind of that stuff happens. So I I agree, Gigi. It could be possible or something to it, but I'm not buying that unless she drove her car to go visit him and he sat in the passenger seat. I wonder if they checked Jeff's. I don't know. That's possible, I guess. Chaffee County Fire Protection District, August 8th, 2018. Photo of Barry in uniform. What? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because they moved there, what was it, in May? May of 2018. Yeah. And in uniform. Wow, he must have started early with them. He probably just couldn't get in until they offered the fire training or safety, whatever they call it, class for the state of Colorado. Because I'm sure his license from Indiana wasn't any good in the state of Colorado as far as, their fire test and whatever else they require. They moved to Colorado a few months before Watt's murder. That was in August of 2018. Dear God, it was that long ago. So, yeah, you're right, secret weapon. Because that would be right. Because they were murdered in August of 18, and a few months before that would be May. So yeah, I think they did move there. And if I'm not mistaken, they registered to vote there in Chaffee County, because when I did their background checks, Suzanne and Barry had registered to vote there. I think it was between April and June. So I think you're right on the money there. And oddly enough, the exact same month they registered, 1 year later, Shosho registered to vote there in Chaffee County. And remember the guy, do you guys remember the guy from the news that was on the bicycle? I think he had a scully cap on, white t-shirt, and I'm trying to think of his name. It's in my notes. I don't have it right off the bat. Matt, help me out here. I'm spilling it. um, yes, you're right, Ann. There are lots of fathers like Trump with Ivanka. Inappropriate union. And Barry sure is not showing signs of that. I guess I should say. But excuse me. I am so sorry, Matt. Oh my gosh, please do not come all the way across the pond to kill me for that. But Matt, what was it I was going to ask you now? I was going to ask you about that. I think about, was it how long they had lived there? I think it was how long they moved there in May. And I'm not convinced Barry and Mallory were platonic. Wow. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff. It's not impossible. Yeah. Hey, I hope not. I mean, I guess that's one thing I haven't really wanted to let my mind go to, so I haven't thought about it. I read Barry burned a lot of bridges in business. California Thunder. Yes, California Thunder, you are right. I have heard that quite a bit myself, that he burned a lot of bridges in Indiana. And I have a feeling that that was part of their decision in moving, along with Mallory, being away from her in college out there, and the fact that their marriage was crumbling, it was falling apart, and she suspected he was seeing someone there and cheating on her. And so yeah, it was a big cluster, what. And I think that was definitely part of it, him burning bridges and it becoming a huge financial situation. That's why the spy pen picked up on so many arguments that they were having over finances. He told Morgan he had to go home and put a fire out. Ooh. I thought Bud Welker, I thought he told Morgan. Now, are you referring to Saturday, the day that we now think that she was killed? Um, because I thought Morgan had said that he told her that they were going to cut the day short at 11 and they were leaving because he had to go home to make the wife happy and they were going to go hiking or bike riding or something like that. And my theory on that is kind of like it was explained in some of her texts. I think he got home, and like I said in my other video, things were coming to a head that weekend. And I think that he may have caught her on the phone with Jeff Libler or sending him a message while she was talking to Sheila on the phone. You never know. And it blew up when he came home. It all went to hell in a handbasket, and he lost his mind, and it started from there. But I think he said he was going home to make the wife happy, and I guess that was his definition of happy for her. I wish someone would treat him so well and with such happiness. Thank you. Okay, social equality. Absolutely. We all make mistakes. It's how you go about fixing those mistakes that makes a difference. And it is. And I felt awful. I thought about making just a video just dedicated to Holly and telling her, I feel like this big. I'm embarrassed. Um, I'm so sorry. So sorry. But I don't know. It's the only way I can do it is by this because she obviously blocked me on Messenger. I don't want to go into that right now. But anywho, Barry votes for Suzanne, so he's a big Trump fan. Are you shocked? Insiders claim Ivanka is the wife, Melania, the fake front. That, hey, that could be very true. Because Melania looks like she doesn't even want to be in the same room with that man. All right, he has the hots for Mallory, and it looks mutual. I, God, I just can't bring myself to say it, but yeah, I think I see what you guys are meaning. Can I say it that way? I don't want to get myself in trouble, guys. I don't want to lose my channel, but yeah, it some of it looks weird. I'll put it to you that way. Thank you so much, Jill, for giving us the opportunity to learn, question, engage, and get the facts straight. Okay, social equality. Thank you very much. And I'm glad you recognize that because that's a pet peeve of mine. If I'm wrong, I want to correct it. That's why I pin things on underneath in the comments. Hey, I messed up here. I meant to say this, or this part was wrong. I don't want to put false information out there. And I think that's why it bothers me so bad when people would call me a liar. And I'm like, what do you think? I'm just sitting here making stuff up. And I want the truth out. And I think if we all get to talking and start the conversation, and we all have such great ideas that we've got to come up with something. Surely to God, between all of us, we're going to hit on something. And I think it's a productive conversation too. And it helps us learn for the future because I've had many battered women reach out to me and it hurt me. I didn't realize exactly how many there were. And so I put the hotline up and I almost feel like I need to put it up on every one now. Um, Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy your videos, Gigi Petro. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Those first videos are so rough. Dear Lord. I went back and looked at them. I'm like, How in the hell did they even follow along to know what I was saying in this thing? So I'm trying, guys. And now that I have a computer, not just a camera, and have to go somewhere else and upload it on a 1992 or 94 laptop, I have my own MacBook and my lighting ring and all the good stuff and my GoPro. So I'm set up. I'm learning. It's taking a while. So those old videos, man, they're rough. I'm sorry, guys. They're terrible. I was going to go back and edit them, and someone said, no, don't do that. Leave them. It'll show your growth. And I'm thinking, will it? Or just show what an idiot I was? That's funny. Barry looks at least 20 years older than Suzanne, does he not? And in this last year, sleeping with his back to the wall, I'm telling you, has taken it out of that man. That or allegedly lack of steroid use. The both of them will do it to him. Yes, yes. Your sister had cancer and she was having cannabis biscuits in the oil. Sadly, we lost her anyway, but it really helped. Zoid or Zoid 1. I am so terribly sorry. I really am. I have never told anybody, and now that the numbers drop in here, because we've been on here almost 2 hours, I'm going to go ahead and say it, guys. The reason you don't hear from me a lot is because I'm really sick, and I'm terminally ill, and it's been pretty difficult for me to deal with, and so that's why I throw myself into this work. I haven't been necessarily taking pay for it and working as API right now, because my health is so unpredictable, and yeah, so just know that I'm sick, guys, and if you hear me talking slow one day, it's because I'm just trying to keep my thoughts together and in order so I don't get them wrong, give you guys false information, screw the information up, or anything like that. So, yes, in some of them, I will speak slow. And like the one, oh dear God, about the pastor's wife, where I had the black on and my hair pulled back, I was huge and swelled up. And I was in congestive heart failure and didn't even know it that day. So I just ask that you guys cut me a little slack for that. And I'm sorry I don't put out more videos. I felt good today. I didn't feel like editing, so I thought, hey, why not just go and have a live? I'll try it out and see how it goes. And it's gone pretty good. So if there's any questions that I have not answered for you guys, and good to see you, Gonzo. I'm glad you were able to stop by. After I post bridge. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Love you, Jill. Your videos are awesome. Thank you so much, Sassy Cat. You don't know what that means to me. It really gives me, when you guys say nice things like that, it just seems, it makes me feel real good, and it helps me to keep doing what I'm doing. And when I don't feel good, it pushes me to do it, and because of you guys, because you guys are encouraging, and that gives me a lot, so I enjoy it. But that's why I always say, if you don't hear from me, I'm still working, and I am, trust me. But I'm doing it from a computer and a phone, but I look like crap, and I'm really sick, and I can't even make a video. But what I'm thinking about doing is, when I get like that, is make the video with my voice, use pictures, kind of take you guys through it that way. So we'll see how that works out. And coexist. I'm out doing my own thing. I've always got AK's back. I'm moving straight for truth and justice. Amen, real Gonzo. That's right. That's what it's all about, man. Truth and justice. We're not here to send people down rabbit holes and rat races and make it more confusing. We're just here to find out the truth. We're talking about a human being's life. What if it was yours? What if it was your dad, your mom's, your sisters, your brothers? It's about a life, and we're here. All of us are here to coexist, and we're here to help, learn from each other. Like I said, what I don't think of, you do. What she doesn't think of, he does. And by the end of the day, we got to have the puzzle solved. And I think this is great. I want to do more of these lives and, have these questions answered and, talk about the degrees of how warm or how cold it was at night during those days there. So, yeah, I'm loving this. I'm going to do some more lives. I like this, guys. Equality with potatoes. I don't know what that means, but you guys think it's funny. Hot potato Barry. Oh, he's a treat, isn't he? For some of the things that he's done that you think, that was halfway intelligent. And then he'll do something else and you're just like, dude, do you know what 2 plus 2 is? I mean, my God, it amazes me. But like I said in other videos, when you kill somebody and things like that happen, your adrenaline starts going through the roof. You do not think clearly. You do not make good decisions. And it all goes downhill bad. I mean, you're not going to make clear, sound decisions when your adrenaline's through the roof. What you're going to do is you're going to go for what's familiar, for what you know. That's why I'm thinking that Barry's always had to do something with either his equipment or hunting. And we're starting to learn that it's probably the hunting thing because they go for what they know. That's what men do. I mean, what does Scott Peterson do? He fished on occasion. He couldn't take her to a golf course. That was his other thing. So he had to take her where he went fishing. I mean, it's like I said, they take pages from the same playbook. And I would love to look into that because it leaves me wondering, is it because they're left with so few decisions? Or, I mean, is it something in their psyche that makes them think, that's a great idea? Let's throw the bike on the side of the road with no prints. Scott Peterson, let's throw a shoe on the side of the road. I mean, they make the same mistakes, and it makes. I want to know why. Why do they all make the same mistakes? All right, guys, I've had you here for 2 hours, and you guys have been his stolen firearm crime or tube crime. I don't know. I do not know anything if they have found his stolen firearm or not. Francis Bach. That's what I was going to tell you guys. Thank you. I thought Matt was going to tell me. He might have. Forgot. Nope. He got me. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Okay, yeah, the Francis Bach thing. How crazy does this case get? Okay, this dude's on the news because he's riding his bike on the same road at the same time. Okay, great. But he remembers this car zigzagging through, driving crazy. It could have run her off the road. Okay, but did you bother telling him that you used to live with and date Shosho? And also that you own a construction company, so you know Barry? And he acted like he didn't know these people on the news? He knew Barry. It's a small town. He owned a construction company too. Come the hell on. And he lived with Shosho, who was sleeping with Barry. There's just way more to the story. I want to know what it is. I'm hoping there's a trial. But I had to get that out before I leave you guys, before we hit the 2-hour mark and call it a day. But thanks for bringing the name up, guys. Yes, I'd forgotten it. Just wasn't coming to me. Looked incompetent in Broomfield and didn't buy it one bit. Martin Smallwood. Yes, he did. And what was it he said that it's going to age like milk? He spent how many? 9 years in the penitentiary. He's a felon. Yeah, that's going to age well for you, huh, Big Burry? Burry. I am glad to see you guys came and hung out. I will have another live. I don't think they at the fire hall that weekend. Wasn't there a sighting of Barry at the fire hall that weekend? I don't know about that. G Maps, AK Katie, AK Mary Kate. That's first heard that part. Do you think MG was an employee with benefits for Barry? No. Barry's got too much of an ego and he thinks too much of himself. And I think he would have to have someone more, that gets their hair dyed blonde every so often, to keep the roots up and stuff, and their eyebrows waxed and their nails done. And yeah, I think I see him going towards that girl. I don't see the benefits live. I'm catching up from the road. Y'all rock. Thanks, real Gonzo. You're a sweetheart. And I will be getting a hold of you. Don't think Suzanne was talking to Sheila on the phone. She was texting, I think. Oh, well, Martin Smallwood. If that is the case, then yeah, could have been Jeff. We'll never know till the trial, I have a feeling, because I don't think they're going to let that out in preliminary. I'd be shocked, and I hope they do. That's the conflicting part for me. Was he going home to make the wife happy, or did he rush home due to receiving the call about no one had heard from Suzanne? Baby girl wrote that. Baby girl, no, I don't think that's the case, because someone even said that Suzanne had cooked vegetable soup for them and he was coming home to eat with her. So that's why I think he went home and ate, and they started talking. That's when the argument started and the fight. Or he came home to eat vegetable soup and he caught her taking the selfie and he said, "Who are you sending that to?" And like he tried to do in Mexico, wrestled the phone, saw it was Jeff. And the rest is history. We just don't know what the history is yet, sadly. Barry showed up unexpectedly at Puma House as Suzanne was on the phone with Florida, telling Suzanne, "You're not going anywhere." Yeah, that was Teresa Fountain, her friend. I've spoken to Teresa quite a few times. Spoke to her yesterday. She can't speak about the case anymore. The FBI's told her not to. I'm assuming she's going to be a character witness because of the way Barry acted around Suzanne and was just, ugly with her. But yes, that's the case. He was in the background saying, "You are not going to Florida. Stop saying that." So yeah, I can imagine it felt great talking to Jeff and dreaming about going to Ecuador. And I'm sure that warmed her heart. Love you, Gonzo. Coexist 2020 says, "Hey, Matt, when are you coming to see us in the US of A?" Yes, be safe out there, Gonzo. California Thunder said that, and I agree, hon. Be safe out there. Coexist. I'm out doing my own thing. I've always got AK's back. I'm moving straight for truth or trust. So, yeah, so we got past that. But yes, you are right. What's the tranquilizer? I can't help but think of Suzanne being chased around the house, being shot at with tranquilizer darts. Isn't that disgusting? And the scary thing is did she know that they were tranquilizers, or did she think that he was chasing her with a 22 rifle? I can't imagine. I can't imagine what she went through. Thank you so much. Good chat. Thank you, Secret Weapon. Let's do this again, man. I love it. Matt, always my man. Staying drama free and true to the cases. That's real Gonzo saying that, and he's right. Matt is definitely dedicated, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Matt's a good guy. Sassy cat. Love you, Jill. Your videos are awesome. Oh, thank you, hon. You're so kind. You're so kind to not tell the truth and say how bad the first ones were. I'm kidding. They were bad though, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It makes me want to make more. It encourages me. Love you, Jill. Love you, Gonzo. You be safe, bud. Oh, Jill. Oh, no, Jill. Oh, my God, baby. You got this. Oh, yeah, guys. I'd appreciate if you say some prayers for me. And no, Ann, I didn't suddenly become ill. I found out it'll be 5 years ago in January that I was sick. And I've gone through gone through quite a bit. I have almost 30 bands in my chest to keep me from bleeding to death. Um, I've, yeah, I've gone through a lot, and I've got a lot more to go through. But one day at a time. We have good days and we have bad days. And today happens to be a good day. And now y'all can stop accusing me of being drunk too, damn it. Somebody accused me of being drunk. I've never drank a day in my life. Well, when I was a teenager in my early 20s, but but no, I didn't suddenly become ill. I had gotten ill and did not know. I didn't know even what I had could cause what I have. And I'm going to tell you guys, there's no use in just keep on hiding it. But the reason I don't tell people is because they associate it with alcoholism, cirrhosis. And I don't like telling people because they assume I was a drinker. And I've never been a drinker, ever. So I don't know. I don't like telling people. And I'm in stage 4. So that's why I look different in my videos. Some days I may be swelled, some days I won't be, but or I might not be feeling good, or some days I have to talk slow because when you become toxic with cirrhosis, it will affect it gives you brain fog. So I have to talk slow so that I don't forget my words and I keep them in order and keep them going. So that's the reason, guys. Yeah, I have a transplant team in Kentucky, the University of Kentucky, and I work with them, and they're doing all they can. My MELD score is not where it needs to be for a transplant, but I am trying desperately to look into a living donor transplant because you don't have to wait till you're at the brink of death to get it done. So you heal much faster. Within 6 weeks, both people have grown a full liver back. So that seems like an amazing gift, you know? So if I could find a hospital that'll do that, UK is a transplant hospital, but I don't know that they do living donor. I know they do in Ohio, so I may travel to do it when it gets to that point. But you know, you just have your ups and downs. I may be down for a month. I may be down for 3, but I may be back for 3 weeks, you know? So I got to enjoy the 3 weeks. And I appreciate all the well wishes and the love that you guys have sent. Definitely appreciate it. And because I'm always embarrassed to tell you guys what's wrong. And I've been doing this for over a year now. And I'm just sick of hiding the fact that I'm sick. That's why I tell you guys I'm sorry. I'm just getting back from having surgery. And and I have to deal with it every day. And this is what keeps it off my mind. So I don't want to have to talk about it here too. Zav Girl suggested I start a channel about it. And I agree, it does need to be spoken about more. But I'm not mentally in a place where I need to be doing that. I need to be watching the videos, not making them, because I'm still having a very hard time with it. So I throw myself in to you guys and all of these missing people that need to be brought home. I've been doing this kind of stuff for years, over 25 years now. And now I have all the time I need to dedicate to it. It's just a matter of getting on film. So if I look crazy, guys, just look over it. Probably not feeling good that day. Had a great conversation with you guys. And thank you all so much, man. I appreciate it. Hey, look. Yes, I will. I will, Matt, do that. I want to give Teresa Fountain a get well shout out because she's not feeling the best, and she is Suzanne's friend, and she has cancer as well. That's how they met at the Relay for Life, and I just keep her in your prayers as well. And she's struggling, and she needs some uplifting, and I know you guys are the ones to do it. So you guys, let's keep talking and let's do this. And hey, I will schedule another one Love your spirit. Thank you, California Thunder. And I'll schedule another one and we'll do another one maybe this weekend. If you guys want to do that, throw me the thumbs up and we'll do another one this weekend because I really want to get into some details about the Echo Lloyd case because I didn't tell it all in my video. You don't let all your cards out of your hand and start playing them all at once. You got to keep an ace up your sleeve somewhere. So I have another video I want to do on the Echo Lloyd case, plus more information that has come out and other people I'm trying to get a hold of to interview. So I want to talk about that. Maybe we can do that next live. And there's also a gentleman that does statement analysis, and he is, what do they call it, a linguist, language linguist. My brain told you it's not working today. But he said that he would be more than glad to come on and do a live with me, and we could go over people's statements, whether it be Barry Morphew's statement or, another case, the Wells case, Summer Wells. So he's willing to come on and help out. We can do that one day. I think that would be really cool. And if my dreams would all come true and the planets would line up, I could get Scott Rouse on my channel. I don't know if I would have to beg, borrow, steal, send money. I don't know, but I sure wish that he would come and be on my channel. I think I'm a little too raw for him because he has a career that he has to, be aware of, and he has to kind of toe that politically correct line. You know what I mean? So I might be a little too much for him, but I'm sure going to ask him because he's a good man. They're all good guys at the behavior panel. But it was great talking to you guys, and thank you all for being so very kind. Thank you for all of the well wishes, and I'm glad to know Happy Heart is looking forward to it, and you guys do want to do another. Heck yes, I love it. All right, guys, I had a wonderful time, man. I really did. And thank you for, I don't know, thank you for being here with me, and thank you for giving me a wonderful time. Even though we talked about some very heavy stuff, it got my mind off of things, and you guys are some great people. I appreciate you. We got a great community here. Thanks, you guys. Bye. Jill the PI. Hey, how do we end this? You want to tell them hi? Say bye, guys. See you later. Call you Detective Betty. I don't know how to end this thing. What do I do? Shut the top on it? We'll do it that way. What's up, girl?